Well, hello guys, let's take a look at how I made this slide and turned it into the video that I did for the Justified Homicide video I made. So it's pretty simple. There's a video in the background. We have this reflective font and the sliding scale with these little sliding lines that bounce back and forth as it comes in, and then these drop down bullet points, which can be used for any type of a infographic type of presentation, sliding scale kind of presentation. It's just a really neat effect that draws interest. So we're going to look at how I did all of these things and all of the animations down here. So we'll start with this blank slide, and the first thing we have to do is get the video in there. So the website I used for that is called VidEasy. This is a free stock footage website. A bunch of artists donate their work so that we can use them for videos or for educational projects or anything of that nature. Just, you have to buy a license if you do it commercially, but this is a great resource if you need to get pictures or videos or vectors or whatever without having to have a copyright hit. So we're going to search for a skull. The internet's been a little slow. The whole COVID-19 thing has got us all on the internet at the same time. So all these are different skull videos. This one looks pretty neat. It's like a skull with black ink coming down it. Here's one with mud. I use this one in another video that we'll do later. But I don't see the one we want yet. Here it is. A spooky glowing blue skull. So you click on it, it takes you to this screen. You hit the free download. A little ad pops up so that the website can get their money, because everybody needs to get paid, right? So the download has happened. It is down here, and you always want to check and see how you need to accredit this. So for TV or broadcast, you put videasy.com in the credits. That's not us, we're on the web, so they want us to copy and paste this into our description. So there it's copied. I'll show you what I do with that. But this is from the artist Raymond. So thank you, Raymond, for this. We all want credit for what we do. You did a great job on this video. I really like it. It worked well, so kudos to you. I'm going to put your name in the credits of this video. And let's get it in here. So we're going to go to PowerPoint. I've already moved it to the folder that I want. Now you can go up to Insert. I just like to use the file manager because it's easy just to grab it, drag it and drop, and it'll pop in there. Get it and line it up, and then what you want to do is come up to your playback up here. You have format and playback. Hit the playback. You want to start it automatically, and because we're having other animations and this is just our background, we're going to want to loop it until it stops so that it'll be playing the entire time. And we can always come down here, take a look at it, and there it is, the background for everything that we're going to do. Okay, now that we have our video there, we need to insert some word art, and we want this one that has the reflective piece on it. So type in whatever we want it to say. This one is the scale of evil, and it's obviously not big enough. So to make text bigger, I like just to go home and use this little control panel right here you have to click on the edge of it so that you don't see the cursor in there anymore. And just hit this up until it's the size that you want it. That's probably got enough width to it. I can make it quite a little bit more. That blue's kind of neat. So bring it up to the top, about right there, and you're going to right click and format shape. Over here, it's going to pop up. You're going to hit your text options. This is going to be your color. This is going to be all of your effects. We want the color because we don't really want it to be blue. So looks like we went from red to black. So we'll change this to a blackish color. And this one will change to a red color. And we'll just delete this. But then when you add one, then it's more in the red color range instead of the blue one. And we can manipulate this a little bit so that it so it goes to where we want it, and it changes in real time. So the only thing we have left to do is the animation aspect of it, and this animation, I believe, was a fade. So we are going to put the fade animation in. It's going to pop up over here. And just hit this little arrow here and do start with previous. And you can either use these up here to make it go forward and back. Your delay is how long it takes before it starts. The duration is how long it lasts. And then you can check it out and see how it goes. So there's that part of it. Alright, so I think this needs to be just a little bit bigger. A little bit further apart. And there we go. Oh, too much. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to insert this rectangle. There's a lot that's about to go on right here, but we need the rectangle first. So we just get a simple rectangle shape. Come across there like so. And the first thing I want to do is make sure it's in the middle. So I'm going to come down to a line and align it in the center. That's going to just automatically shift it. Now if we look at our other one, it's a gradient. It goes from dark to really bright over here. So right click on that, go to format shape, and it's going to pop up over here. We want a gradient fill. Linear will be good. And we want to go from dark to light that way. And it's already got our same colors in there. And we can adjust this any way that we want to. So the animation for this is it came from the middle and went out. So that's going to be what's called a split animation. And it's right here. but when you play it, it's going to be going from the out in, so you need to change that to go that way. And it looks like we have a little blue line around there. We don't want that line, so we're going to click on it, go to the color options, and pick no line. And that's our animation right here. We need it to come out after. Extend the length of it a little bit so it comes out pretty fast, not too fast. And we want it to go with previous, so we don't have to click on it every time. Now, if you click with previous and then you adjust it, then it means you're not going to have to use a clicker or press a space bar or the mouse button to make it advance every time. So let's take a look at it. Our video is playing, our words come up, our rectangle comes out. So the next thing that we have is we have our numbers. So we're going to insert a text box. Just go home for it because everything's right there. And it's going to go across here. We're going to put all our numbers in there. .22 is where it went up to, so I think I got them all. I can't see it yet. We're going to change the color. Same thing up to the format shape. Go to the gradient fill. It's already going to be, well, you got to be careful with that. Make sure you go to the text option and go with our gradient fill. This one we want like the original one we had, from the top down. Make the text a little bit bigger. Bring it down a little bit. Oh, that's what happened. There's two 21s. See, that's why you should be able to see it first. Alright. So we're almost there. Go back. Okay, so Control Z works wonders. And to compensate for that, so select both of them and then go up to Arrange and align it in the center again. You want to be careful with things like that because it will throw off your whole look if it's got a little bit too much space on one side. And you can always move it by hand. The only other thing we need to do is come up here to our effects and add our reflection. And this will just be a really small reflection. Alright, so come back here and undo that. I always confuse these two. Whenever you're working with the text, make sure you pick the text options. You come here, reflection, shadow, all of that stuff is right here. The only other thing we need to do is make this zoom out because it popped out from the very back of the thing. We go to animations, zoom is going to be up here, click down, start with previous, and this is a real fast one, so we're not going to extend it any, we're just going to make it happen right afterward. Give it a look, see if that's what you want. Our video, our words pop out. There's our rectangle, and there is our numbers. So that is pretty good for that effect. Now we need to do the lines. Okay, so before we get to these lines, this just really isn't big enough for me. I can't see those numbers. So let's change it up a little bit. And sometimes you just have to play with all this stuff in order to get it right. Whatever looks right. Okay, I think we might be getting closer there. Yeah, I like that a lot better. I can see that better. I'm gonna make them stand out even more. Make it bold. Have this stick out a little bit more. And then align them back in the center again. Alright, there we go. I'm a lot more happy with that. So we need to make our lines. These are just simple lines from up here. Looks like they are between 1 and 2, between 8 and 9, and 15 and 16. So we will just make our first one. It's going to kind of come across there. Now that we have it there, let's make it a little bit bigger so we can see it better. 3.25, that looks pretty good to me. And we'll make this the jet black one. And let's do the animations first, so that when we copy it, the animations are copied at the same time. It'll save us a little bit of time. So our animation is that we're going to fly in, and we're going to fly in from the left. So we have float in and fly in. That's the one we want. And you see it's going from the bottom up. That's not what we want. We want it to come, from the right. So if we look at that, it's going really fast. Let's not have it go that fast. Extend it out a little bit. There we go. And we are going to want to come in here and move this bounce end up just a little bit. So that when it stops, it bounces back and forth. I can't see it very good, so what we may need to do is we may get rid of this black, put a little bit darker of a color of red. I like PowerPoint for this one because you can make any color you want. Hey, you see, now I can see that black a whole lot better. Maybe we get rid of that one. This little bit darker one come in. Make this one a little darker. And I mean, you can just keep messing with it until you get it the way that you want it. Different colors, make them darker, do whatever you want to. But now I can see it, so it's still going pretty fast. Okay, so bring this down just a little bit so it doesn't bounce so far out of control, and do it one more time. Here it comes, sliding across there, and wobbles back and forth. Now the only thing we need to do is start with previous, put a little bit past there, and now you can just click on it, push Control D, move it, where did I say it was? Between 8 and 9. Oh. That one didn't get colored for some reason. Alright, so this one's between the 8 and the 9. Hit Control D again, it'll make another one for you, and that one goes in between 15 and 16. And you see it copied the animations for each one, so now all we have to do is just stagger these so that they come out one after another. And voila! Let's start from the beginning, see what happens. We have our nice skull with the pixels, the scale of evil, the scale pops out, and our little bars start to go across. And we can make these faster and slower. And now that I've showed you how to manipulate them, you know how to do it. Alright, we're almost there. All we have is these little drop down bullet points that go all the way across the scale. So let's throw those in real quick. Just go to home. Over here in your shapes you have the arrow, and we'll put the first one pointing up towards the 1. Maybe move it up just a little bit. Come over here to our format shape. Make it thicker first so it's easy to see. Good thick line. We definitely need to make a color. That might be a little bit too bright. So just bring it down a little bit. There you go, that's close enough. So we want these to have an animation to where they go from the top down. So that's going to be what we call a wipe animation. So we hit wipe. Its default is to go from the bottom up. We want to go from the top down. Let's check it out. That's exactly what we want. We'll adjust timing and stuff later. And go ahead and select it. Push Ctrl D to duplicate it. And then we have one that goes in the middle of all of these. So Ctrl D again, and it's going to record all the animations while we do it. And Ctrl D one more time. Alright, it almost got where I wanted to. So now we need to make sure that the tops of these are all aligned. We don't want them jagging up and down like shark's teeth. We want them level across there. So we select all 4 of them. Go to Format. Go to Align. And we want to align the tops. And that's just going to make it so it's level all the way across the top. So click out here, away from the screen, and just so that these are out of the way, these get staggered up just a little bit. This one goes higher, and then this one goes higher yet. So it's something like that. We're not going to worry about these animations yet. We'll adjust them all when it comes to be time for that. So we're going to put these lines across here now. So we're going to pick our line from there, start at this junction, and come out. Now we're just looking for the structure of it right now. Make sure that we're getting everything that we want, the right color, the right places, and we can adjust everything after we get it kind of close to where we want. So this last one is the last color that we selected. So we're going to want it. Well, that's not the same. That one is, under recent colors. There we go. And we're going to want to do the same thing, except for after it comes down, we're going to want this to do a wipe to the right. And so from the left to the right. Select it, hit Ctrl D. Once you do, it's going to copy the animation and everything else. Hit Ctrl D again. Now these aren't perfect, they're not where I want them, but we still have text that we need to do. Ctrl D one more time. Now this is the only one we're going to have to change. because we don't have enough room over here for the word. So we need to make sure that the word is over here. We need to make sure that this one is going the opposite direction. So we're going to get from the right. Now, this is probably a good size text. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select it and push Control D to copy it. And then change it to justified homicide. So let's play with that a little bit. It might just be a little too big. That seems about right. And we're going to want this to wipe to the right as well. So go up to your animations and click your wipe. Go to your effect options from the left. Now that you've done that, hit your Control D. And this was impulsive murder. Somebody got mad. They did something they shouldn't have. A bar brawl gone wrong or something. Somebody got hit with a chair, I don't know. I was just teaching this psychology class on the criminally insane. But, you know, the graphics are fine. You don't usually get to use skulls and the word evil and all that stuff, so it's pretty neat to do. Great for cinema, great for Halloween, all of that stuff. So I just straighten those out a little bit. I'm going to hit Control D again. Oh, it's the next one. Semi-psychopaths. And this is recording each animation every time. So that's going to save you some time. There's always little things you got to fix and go back. So make sure you click on the side, press Control D, bring it up, and these are full-blown psychopaths, I guess. I learned a lot teaching that psychology class. They say you learn more by teaching than you do by actually going to class, and I believe that. I'm probably going to get way faster at PowerPoint by the end of all this. And so the only other thing we need to do is we need to make this go from the right to the left. So up at our effect options, we're going to go from the right. That's going to make it go from this way, that way. So this one's already selected. Go up to the top, press Shift and click, and then all of them get selected. And then you're going to want to start with previous. That's going to make it so that you can move these. So it's that straight arrow, the first one that we did. Then this one, then that one, then that one. So every fourth one. Two. Oh, Control Z is your best friend. 3. 4. So you can see over here it lights up every time you click on it, so you can tell which one it is. This one is this line underneath, so I actually want to bring it up here and have it come right after that one. Oh. Like I said, Control Z is your friend, especially trying to move these little small ones, because if you have the 2 lines, means you're going to spread it out or bring it back, make it last longer. And to move it, you want the 2 arrows facing either way. There we go, that's closer together. So now you can see by it being highlighted right here that that is going to be our next underline. We want it just directly after that. Same thing here. And then this, by our highlight, is justified homicide. Want that maybe just a little bit after. And do the same thing, so it creates this kind of stair-stepping effect. And should we try it? There's our nice skull that Raymond provided for us. Scale of evil. Scale pops out, that jumps out at you. I like those numbers bigger. These things come across. Depending on how long you want the video, you can slow it down with this, or you can make them go faster. You can make them bounce more. And there we have it. You can tweak it to do whatever you want from there, but those are the basics of how I made this slide. I hope you guys liked this tutorial. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will show you how to do more of this. Well, that does it, guys. If you want to see anything else that's in any of my videos, just let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel so that the channel becomes successful. Hit the thumbs up, like it. The more of that we get, the more we will progress and the more we will grow. Anything you want to see how to do, just leave it in the comments and I will make it happen for you. This should be fun. I like to get new ideas too, so if you do this, show me what you did with it. I would love to see that I'm helping somebody else. So if you're a teacher out there, I hope this helps you. Anyway, be good people, do good things.